This is the Sabbath School lesson for the fourth quarter, 2021.
Lesson 1 from the series Present Truth in Deuteronomy, ready for teaching on October 2. It's titled Preamble to Deuteronomy, and I'm Percy Harrold. Tuesday, September 28, the Call of Abram. Abram, later called Abraham, first appears in the genealogy of Genesis chapter 11, which comes right after mention of the scattering from Babel. We actually read the first time for Abram in Genesis chapter 11 and verse 27. This is the genealogy of Terah. Terah begot Abram, Nahor, and Haran. Haran begot Lot, and Haran died before his father Terah in his native land, in of the Chaldeans. Read Genesis chapter 12, verses 1 to 3, the call of God to Abram. Today, looking back after the cross, after the death of Jesus and the spreading of the gospel, how do we understand what God was promising to do through Abram? Genesis 12, beginning at verse 1. Now the Lord had said to Abram, "Get out of your country, from your family, and from your father's house, to a land that I will show you. I will make you a great nation. I will bless you and make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse him who curses you, and in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed." Many centuries later, the Apostle Paul, in seeking to deal with the heresy of the Galatians, pointed back to Abraham's call, showing it to be an early expression of what God's intentions had always been, the gospel to the world. Galatians 3, verses 7 to 9. Therefore know that only those who are of faith are sons of Abraham, and the Scripture, foreseeing that God would justify the Gentiles by faith, preached the gospel to Abraham beforehand, saying, "In you all the nations shall be blessed." So then, those who are of faith are blessed with believing Abraham. Abraham's call was first expressed in Genesis 12. Much of the rest of Genesis is the story of his blood descendants, one dysfunctional seed after another, creating one messed up family after another, and yet through them the promise eventually was to be fulfilled, reaching a crucial milestone with the call of Moses. Read Acts chapter 7, verses 20 to 36, the martyr Stephen's depiction of Moses and the Exodus. How does this fit in with God's initial promise to Abraham? Well, let's turn to that. This is Acts chapter 7, beginning at verse 20. At this time Moses was born and was well-pleasing to God, and he was brought up in his father's house for 3 months. But when he was set out, Pharaoh's daughter took him away and brought him up as her own son. And Moses was learned in all the wisdom of the Egyptians, and was mighty in words and deeds. Now when he was 40 years old, it came into his heart to visit his brethren, the children of Israel. And seeing one of them suffer wrong, he defended and avenged him who was oppressed, and struck down the Egyptian. For he supposed that his brethren would have understood that God would deliver them by his hand. But they did not understand. And the next day he appeared to 2 of them as they were fighting, and tried to reconcile them, saying, "Men, you are brethren. Why do you wrong one another?" But he who did his neighbour wrong pushed him away, saying, "Who made you a ruler and a judge over us? Do you want to kill me as you did the Egyptian yesterday?" Then, at this saying, Moses fled and became a dweller in the land of Midian, where he had 2 sons. And when 40 years had passed, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a flame of fire in a bush in the wilderness of Mount Sinai. When Moses saw it, he marvelled at the sight, and he drew near to observe. The voice of the Lord came to him, saying, "I am the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob." And Moses trembled and dared not look. Then the Lord said to him, "Take your sandals off your feet, for the place where you stand is holy ground. I have surely seen the oppression of my people who are in Egypt. I have heard their groaning and have come down to deliver them. And now come, I will send you to Egypt." This Moses, whom they rejected, saying, Who made you a ruler and a judge? Is the one God sent to be a ruler and a deliverer by the hand of the angel who appeared to him in the bush. He brought them out after he had shown wonders and signs in the land of Egypt and in the Red Sea and in the wilderness 40 years. In a world steeped in ignorance, error, and a general lack of the knowledge of truth, things have not changed much in more than 3,000 years, have they? The Lord called out a people, his people, Abraham's seed, from Egypt. In them he sought not only to preserve knowledge of the truth, that is, knowledge of him, Yahweh, and the plan of salvation, but also to spread that knowledge to the rest of the world. So to finish the day. Today, how do we as Seventh-day Adventists see ourselves in relation to the rest of the world? That is, what parallels exist between us and ancient Israel? More important, what responsibility does this parallel place on each of us individually? This lesson was read by Dr. Percy Harrold for Christian Services for the Blind. It's supported by the Sabbath School Department and Hope Channel Australia and is rebroadcast by Christian Record Services and through podcasts at It Is Written in the United States, Hope Channel Germany, and through Apple iTunes and SoundCloud. Remember, God is always faithful.